Hi, this is a quick tutorial showing you how to make scales in Curvy using the duplicate proxy array. I'm going to start drawing a single scale as a slab object, and then I will smooth out the curve a little bit, and I want to reduce the number of points so we get a nice simple scale. Use curve optimize and increase the distance to reduce the number of points. When you're in wireframe mode, you can see the points. Just press A on the keyboard to switch to wireframe. Once you're finished with the curve, you bake that, make it symmetrical, and now we're ready with a single scale. I'm going to shrink this down and move it out the way. Reduce the depth and give it a slight tilt. So that's one scale down. I want to duplicate this, so I'm going to use duplicate proxy and then change it into array mode. I'm going to have a 10 by 30 array of scales. And the important things to do here are change the offset. So offset A moves them across. Offset B is between each row. And the last offset alternates between each line to give us a sort of back and forth tiled effect. Bake that, press K to bake it all again, and then Control J to merge all of those individual meshes into one big mesh, which we can treat as a single object. Now our target mesh is just going to be a lathe object here. So I'm drawing a lathe with two curves. Just smoothing out each curve. Increase the resolution a little bit. Okay, now this is the tricky part where we deform by the surface. And so we selected the lathe, then we did deform by surface, and then we're dragging our scales as a child to that action. So we have the lathe, then we have the action, and then we have our slabs as a child of the action. And here the location for this deformation is given by the yellow box. So we need to scale and move this box so it fits just over all of our scales. Now you might find that the scales have come in upside down or back to front, so you can scale the box upside down to reverse this effect. And for instance here, the scales are appearing back to front, so I used reverse surface. But if I wanted to flip them in space, I could scale the yellow location box until it itself was back to front. So I'll do that here. I'll scale the yellow box back to front, which will turn my scales back the right way out. And now they're spread over the surface nice and evenly to give us a good scaly tendril effect. You can put more detail into the individual scales if you want, and any sculpting you do on one scale will then duplicate across all the others. So here's one I did with a little bit more sculpting and pinching on the scale to give it a more dragon-like scaly effect. And this is all ready to try out on Curvy 3D. You can get the 30-day free trial from curvy3d.com.